Hi everyone, I wanted to go over the conservation of momentum, and what that involves is if you're looking at an isolated system, so all the objects that you're looking at are one system, the total momentum before a collision of the objects will equal the total momentum of the collisions after the objects after the collision. So momentum is not lost or gained. The amount before equals the amount after. Okay, so let's say you had two objects here. This is the first problem from the worksheet, right? So this is object one. Let me get my, let's do this. Okay, so this is object one. This is object two. Before it collides, we could write a little line here. This is before. Oopsie. And this is after. Okay, so the masses stay the same. They're both 5 kilogram objects. Before the collision, object 1 is going 2 meters per second. Object 2 is at rest. After the collision, object 2 is going 2 meters per second. What's going on with the velocity for object 1? So to figure this out, we're going to say, I'm going to write up here, I would add this as your notes, for elastic collisions, which just means the objects bounce off each other. They don't stick together. Okay. The mass of object 1 times the velocity of object 1 plus the mass of object 2 times the velocity of object 2 equals the mass, sorry, this is not, there we go, the mass of object 1 times a new velocity. I'm just going to move this over just a little bit. Let me write that again. Okay, so we have m1 v1 v4 plus m2 v2 equals m1 v1. I'm going to put this little prime thing there. So that just means the new velocity after, plus m2 v2 prime. Again, the velocity of object 2 after the collision, right? So we can put above this again. Before equals after. Okay, so let's solve. So we have m1 v1, oops, not m1 v plus m2 v2 equals m1 v1 prime plus m2 v2 prime. All right, so m1, 5 times v1, 2 plus m2, 5 plus v2, 0 because it's not moving equals m1, 5 times v1 prime, that's what we're looking for, plus m2, 5 times v2 prime, 2. So this will give us 10 plus 0, so that's 10, 5 times v1 plus 10. Okay, so we want to get v1 by itself, so we want to subtract 10 from both sides. Right, that will make this side 0. I'm going to move this over here. So now we have 0 equals 5 times v1 prime. I want to get v1 by itself, 5 divided by 0. So the velocity of v2 prime after is 0 meters per second. So this object is at rest, which if you look at it makes sense because they're both 5 kilograms. If this one's moving at 2 and this one's 0, then this one moves off at 2. This one has to be 0, and it evens out. So you take your before, your after, you find your totals, you set them equal, and you solve for your missing variable. That's how you solve for an elastic collision.